Did you see the Jaguars pushing Gardner Minshew to the side to sign Cam Newton?
All right, you should check in with the Leonard Fournette Instagram on occasion because he says interesting things. That doesn't go over so well usually in Jacksonville. It's why Jalen Ramsey is no longer there. And what he said this time is, hey, Cam Newton, I'd love to have Cam Newton. And that makes sense for a lot of different reasons. But from specifically his perspective, the Jacksonville Jags have been as bad at talent evaluation at the quarterback position over the last 5 years as any team in the sport. The one who has had to endure the most physical pain because of that is Leonard Fournette. Of course, he wants some relief from that position. And of course, he would want someone like Cam Newton, no matter what you think of his advanced metrics, even if you think he's not healthy.
But my favorite part of the story, Dan, is that Leonard Fournette Instagrammed that he wants Cam Newton to be his teammate, then deleted it, and then went on First Take and reiterated everything he had deleted. Like, that is the maximum way to generate a news cycle, each of those steps in succession. Meanwhile, I'd be more concerned, actually, not about Leonard Fournette if I'm Gardner Minshew, but about my GM and my coach, both of whom are signaling that, number one, they need Gardner Minshew to take a big step forward next year. And they are also looking to bring in competition via the draft. All of that stuff is more worrying. And also, that's also completely on the record from the guys who actually have the power to hire and fire.
Leonard Fournette started his latest statement, no disrespect to Gardner Minshew, which anytime anyone starts a sentence with no disrespect, they are immediately about to disrespect you. It's always the case. He is right. I think that a healthy Cam Newton would put them in a position to win, which is what he then went on to say. People will point out that Cam Newton hasn't statistically been very good over the last few years, but the last time he was healthy for an extended period, the first half of 2018, he was a better quarterback than Gardner Minshew. But the thing is, I'm not sure they'd win that many games anyways, because this is a bad football team, and it's a bad football team that knows it's a bad football team, right? They traded away Calais Campbell, AJ Bouye for very little. And if I'm the Jags, I just see what I got in Gardner Minshew, and I look towards next year, not the draft this year. I'm looking at Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, because you're not going to be competitive this year, even with Cam Newton.
I do feel for Gardner Minshew, though. Gardner Minshew wants to be someone's partner. Instead, everybody on his team sees him as a fling. And meanwhile, I mostly just see him still as David Arquette dressing up as Baker Mayfield for Halloween. You cannot convince me that this is not exactly what is happening.
Oh, I see him a number one seed in our Looks Like tournament. He is absolutely an out-of-work exotic dancer that you can reach at 1-800-GET-RANDY.
And I see Pablo as the Asian version of him these days.
Wow.
You know what?
Wow.
Give me a week.
1-800-GET-PABLO.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.